It's an odd thing, the way we treat the idea of freedom in art. We talk a big game. We talk about how we love being creatives and how we love that drawing lets us make our own worlds, that anything we can imagine can become real. But we let our experience of art fall far short of this most of the time. We quickly get stuck in familiar grooves that seem unshakable. These grooves have been worn deep by repeated travel, and they are the easiest way to get where you're going. But when we sit and start drawing, we often do it without any serious awareness of these habit patterns, thought streams, and life conditions that are severely narrowing what we think the field of possibility is at that moment. We have thoughts like, I don't have a lot of time, so I'll do a drawing that's pretty typical for me, or I really need to be getting serious about my career, so I should make something that looks like this successful thing that I've seen. More insidiously, we often aren't aware that what we really are doing is plucking an alternate reality from an infinite field of possibility when we draw. Once you put down a face or a horse or a symbol on a piece of paper, no one will ever again look at that piece of paper and experience it as blank. They will always feel face. That will always be the surface experience with that. You made that reality, and they can't avoid it. Instead of approaching this possibility space with some reverence and the kind of secret giddiness that you shouldn't share with friends, we often veer even further into delusion and experience our sittings as some sort of compromise. We get trapped in this dull Monday morning mediocrity, and our sessions tend to have the feeling that they are a compromise between what we can imagine and what we can realistically do. And most of the time, even the imagining is curbed. Forget what you can do. How many times has an idea for a project occurred to you and quickly been quantified with thoughts like, well, I don't do that kind of art, or that's too big for someone on my level, or the most pervasive, I think, no one will like that. You probably didn't take a transcendental moment to use your godlike willpower to manifest these thoughts by choice in the moment either. They probably just bubbled up from who the fuck knows where, unbidden, and you took them, hook, line, and sinker, and believed them like they were real or something, like your daddy said them to you, like they were some memory that happened. I know I'm not making this up because I've had conversations both online and in person with artists where they put into very clear, honest words how much pain their perceived lack of freedom in art is causing them. Whether it be cognitive dissonance about what they want to make not being acceptable to the art community at large, or feeling bound at work, or feeling like the stuff they really want to make isn't viable because no one will like it. There's every kind of stricture. We can come up with a million different kinds. And I get that. All of that is real. And the pain is real. The irony is, of course, the perceived lack of freedom is not real. It's not that freedom needs to be attained. It's not that you need to change yourself to be more free somehow. No, you're already free, completely free. Whatever program you have running in your head, that you've been running in your head for months probably, that you can't do this because such and such reason, it's just nothing. Again, it's not that it needs to be made into nothing. It already is nothing. And its grip on you is not to be turned into an illusion later. It is and always has been an illusion. You're already free. Right here, right now. If you're experiencing that chattering thought stream of, you're wrong, Steven, what about if I have to make money to eat? I'm not free with that. Or what if I get super anxious when I sit down to draw? I'm not free. Not everyone can just overcome that. Just quiet that stream of thought for a minute. I've been there. I've been there. Spent a long time there. It's a boring thought stream. It's every comment section everywhere. It's every conversation with your friends everywhere when they're talking themselves out of their own joy and dreams. We can find every possible fucking reason not to work. But hardly anyone wants to talk about the fact that we're always free to do so, and that the reasons that restrict us are illusions. And don't give me the don't veer into the are you saying anxiety disorders or depression aren't real thing. That's you have no idea just how seriously I take those things and how very real I know they are. And if you're suffering from them, I encourage absolutely everyone to explore therapy and medication. But that's not the actual issue here. Take your perceived quality of the work out of the picture as a hypothetical. Let's table that. What if, experientially, all that mattered to you was the act of doing the work? A true connection with the pastiches that we opened with. What if your actual priority in art, your number one priority, was to enjoy the process of being an unrestricted creative, and to enjoy the privilege of diving into an infinite pool of possibilities and plucking one out whenever the hell you want, completely devoid from the outcome? Wouldn't that be kind of bigger than just being caught up in whether the piece is going to come out well or not? Like you even get to decide if that happened, as if we don't like a drawing right when we finish it and then hate it the next day. The particular cognitive factors that hold a piece as a success or even a failure in the mind are fleeting and are prone to erode or flip completely with no prompting for no apparent reason, either the next day or certainly in the next few years. On the other hand, the process is always the same, and it already floats free from whatever it's producing. If you can settle back, just settle back into that process. Be there with it. Feel the strangeness of yourself doing it. It will be clear to you that it is always completely free from any shackles, whether they be concerns for what people think your art is, like count, or even something as existentially devastating as the disapproval of your family. As soon as the pencil touches the paper, none of those things affect it. The process is always intrinsically free from that. You're adding it on. You're adding everything else on. So as long as you're drawing freely. You only experience that as untrue if you think sadness or anxiety or any kind of excitement is making you draw worse. And you actually have no idea. You'll find if you push through that a few times and draw while feeling sadness, anxiety, or anything, that you still make fine drawings every now and then, even in those states. And if that has ever happened to you, if you've ever experienced that, stop fucking ignoring it. There's valuable data there. There's a secret there. You're already free. Now, go draw something that you only thought you couldn't.